In this tutorial, what we are going to do is to work on our profile fragment. That is, when a user click on any profile, that is, let's say I search for any user, okay, and when I click here, then then the app must redirect me to this user profile page, and also to display the total number of followers and the following list here, okay, and also the full name and bio. I mean, we will be working on all these stuffs. So let's just do it. So let's go to the Android Studio. So first of all, here in our user detector, what we are going to do is, here we can say when a user click on this whole item, which is our, when a user search, this is a whole item, okay? So if a user click anywhere on any profile, okay? So let's say if a user click on this profile, there will be a lot of users, as you know, but just for testing purposes, we have till now created, 6 users, okay? So all the users whose names start from J appear here, okay? So I hope you understand all these steps. So anyways, holder dot item view, which means if the user click on any profile, then you are going to set a click listener on it, set on click listener, view dot on click listener, this first one, okay? Then by using the share preference, let's first create let's give it name as pref equals, by using the context dot get shared preference, get shared preferences preps, and the second parameter it's need is basically the context dot private dot mode private dot edit, and which thing we want to share is basically the profile. That is the, let's say if I click on this profile, then we must get this ID. So by using this ID we can display the information. Here is at the profile page. So we can say ref dot put string. So we can give it name as profile ID user dot get UID pref dot apply, and then put these two brackets. We can say context as fragment activity dot support fragment manage dot begin transaction dot replace or dot id dot fragment container, comma, and where we want to send the user is basically the profile fragment dot commit. So we will send the user to the profile. Let's go to the profile fragment quickly, fragment dot catty, and here let's also open the XML file for it. Profile fragment, because we will be naming it, so it is important. So first of all, there are two things now to discuss. One is basically if a user is online, let's say login into the app and he click on this profile page, then the user will see this edit profile button, because this is the user profile page now, okay? And he will see his following list, follower list, and his own name basically, the edit profile button, his own followers and following list, his name, the user online, the user who is online, okay? He will be seeing his own data here. But what if a user click here, on the search, and he search someone's profile and he click on, let's say, Zia Peterson, then when he click on any item, that is, let's say this is the whole item, if we click on it, then we will send the user to the profile page, and instead of the user own data, here will be that Zia Peterson full name, username, bio, follower, all these stuffs, and this button will be changed to follow, or if the user is not already following, then it will be like following. hope you understand and get the idea. So first of all, let's do work on our this button, okay? So come here to the profile fragment. First of all, one thing which we need to do is to get this reference, this ID, okay, which we are sharing by using the shared references, okay, this thing. So here on our profile fragment, here we can just quickly say there is ref equals to context dot get share references EREFS, comma, context dot mode private. If the reference is not null, not equals to null, then we can get the string, from our activity, and we can store it inside here in this fragment. Sorry, from the user adapter, where when a user click on it, okay, because you are using the share of references, okay. So when a user click here on any item view, then we are going to get that ID on which the user click, and we have to receive it here. So we can do it by, we can say this dot, and we need to create a variable here. So we can say let init for, let's give it the same name as profile ID, and as you know that it must be of type string. Let's also initialize quickly a Firebase user that we will also need now. We can give it a name as Firebase user, and be of type Firebase user. So anyways, now here we can say this dot profile ID equals to reference dot get. Now here we need to pass the same thing which is on our user adapter, the thing which we are passing from here, which is this one. Profile ID. Pass that here, comma, none. Now once we get this, the next thing which we need to do is to differentiate between the online, the user own ID and the item ID, that is when a user come here from this search box, okay? That is the edit profile button and the follow button or unfollow button, that kind of button, okay? Hope you understand. You will also understand it more clearly when you will run the app at the end. So anyways, after this we can do that thing, okay? We can say if, and we are going to compare the online user, the Firebase current user, you can say, with this profile ID. If both are equals, it means that this is the user own profile page. And if both are not equals, then it means that the user is coming from the search page where he click on someone else's profile. So first of all, here we can first get the Firebase user. Firebase user equals to Firebase auth dot get instance dot get current user, and it must not be null, so put these two exclamation marks, okay? So here now we can compare it. We can say if the profile ID has become equals to the Firebase user. Sorry, Firebase user dot UID. You have to get the ID of that user. So if the profile ID is equals to the Firebase user dot UID, it means that this user on profile. So there is no need to change the button text. Or here we can, we have to display the button like this, okay? Edit profile. So for this, the ID is, let's just go to the text, click here and the ID, copy this ID, come back to the profile fragment, and here we can say view dot paste that ID, okay? That button ID dot set on clicky, dot text. We have to change the text of this button. equals to edit profile. Otherwise, which means let's add a proper statement for it. Else if. Now here we have to display the follow or already following text on this edit profile button. So for that you will be needing, you have to check it and verify it using the Firebase real-time database. So let's just create a method by name check follow and following. Let's use the proper names. Okay, so this is the method. Let's create it, create function. Remove this comment and there is our function. So now here we can do that thing. So now we have to verify it using our follow node, where basically we have all the follower list and the following list. Okay, so yeah, you can say well follow reference equals to, let's just copy paste from the user adapter class where we already created these references. Okay, here we have this check following status. Okay, copy this reference from here. Well, following reference, this follow and following. Okay, make sure that it is this one. Just copy it, come back here, paste it here. So now here we can say if following a reference, let's just copy paste this. If this is, okay, we forgot to close the brace, okay? And that is basically this brace, because we just copy pasted and we forget to close this this curly brace. So now we can say, I'm really sorry for this. Okay, make sure to, take care of these things. If follow reference not equals to null, then we can say following reference dot you are now going to retrieve the data. Okay, so object value event listener, put two curly braces, and let's move to next line. Now two methods we basically write here inside the value listener. The first one is on data change, make sure to remove the comment, and the second one is on cancelled, remove the comment from it. So now inside our on data change, we can say if data snapshot dot exist, which is basically this object up here. PO dot exist, and we are searching for that specific user basically. So here we can say dot child profile ID. So if this exists, it basically means that we are currently following the person. Okay, so let's just copy paste this thing from here quickly. This is this one. Copy it, paste it here, and change these to following. Next, to add here this for the chef call or check, else it will be follow. Copy it, paste it here, and change it to follow. Also make sure to add a chef call here. You can also check it from here, okay, replace with chef call. But anyways, just move this and let's do it manually here. Okay, so the error is removed now. So this is the whole thing which we do about this button, edit profile, okay? So yeah, now the next thing comes is to get the total number of followers and the following list, to display it here, okay? This is just for the button. If you want, you can, give proper name to this method, that is check follow and following button status. So that, you can remember it even if you open the code after one here, okay? So it is up to you, okay? Make sure we change name here also. So we call this method here, okay? Now let's just create quickly a method where we can get, retrieve the total number of followers and the followings. So yeah, let's just quickly add it. Okay, first let me check. We have some error here. Okay, by mistake I just added an extra space. Yeah. Sorry, here is the app package name. So anyways, let's just add, quickly add create a method here quickly. Private fun get. First, let's retrieve the followers. Okay, so private fun get followers. We need the same reference, which is, this is for following. Let's just copy paste it first and make sure to change this following to followers. The same reference at the time when you are storing it on our user adapter, in the database, okay? Followers. So make sure to use the same spellings. So, let's also change this name to followers reference. Once again, I forgot to add this curly brace for closing this thing. Let me just remove it quickly. This is our followers. Then we have this curly brace. You have added it already. Okay, so here we can say follower reference dot add value event listener object value event listener. Make sure to put two curly braces. The first method is the on data on cancel. Second one is on cancel, and first one is on data change. So make sure to add these two methods quickly. Move these comments. And now here, inside our on data change, we can say if data snapshot, if this one basically by using this object name, if PO dot exist. So we are going to get the total number of the total number of child count basically. That is, let's say, now here are only one child, okay? If there are, let's say, 5, okay? So it means that this user has 5 followers. Now in this case, this user has only one follower, and which is this person, okay? Whose unique ID is IQ, this one. So I hope you get the idea. It is so simple. So we can say view, you have to display it. So by using view, we can say dot. Let's first check the ID of it for the followers. And it is total followers. Copy it, paste it here. Dot text. And this exclamation question mark here. And now here we need to, we need to set the text. First we have to get the total number of child. So we can, by using this object, we can say PO dot get. By the way, in Kotlin it is children count, okay? While in Java it is get children count. It basically get the total number of child in long data type. So here you can see it display an error. If you click here, here is this red bull. Click here, add to string call, okay? So dot string, by adding this dot to string, it will convert this to string. And now it will display it on our this total follower text view. One thing which we need to do is, instead of it, let's just copy paste this quickly. This for the followers, and now let's do it for the copy, and let's paste it here and change the name of it to get followings. And now we have to change it to get followings. Make sure that it is the same spellings which we are using here, okay? Or it is following, okay? Sorry. So make sure. which you can also verify from the database. Okay, followers and following. Not here it is, we do not add s. I mean it must match to your database, childs or nodes. So following, and the same thing will be apply here, but we have to change this text view. Now we have to display it in our following, this one. And the ID for this is total following. Okay, that is now in this case, let's say for this user, if this user is online, then he has 2 person in his following list. Okay, 1, 2. So yeah, I mean now, and also this person has no followers. I mean, no one is following him. He is following these 2 person. So next thing is these 2 things. You have to call this methods here first. So let's just call it above this return. We have to call our get followers and then get followings. Now the next thing which is left is to display the full name, bio and username. So let's just do it. For that we can also create a separate function, separate method I mean. Right? Font, let's give it name as user info. Now we need to create a reference to our users. Node, okay, users reference equals to Firebase Database. Dot get instance, dot get reference. But child will be our users node. Dot child profile ID. I mean this specific person. You can say user ref dot add value event listener, new value event, sorry, not this, is object colon value event listener for 2 curly braces here. Then we have on data change, remove the comment. Then we have on cancel method, remove the comment. Inside the on data change, first of all we can check the context. If the context is not equals to null. I mean, so here if you want to do something, I mean if the context is null, you have to return, okay? You are not going to allow the user, so return. And otherwise you have to check if the PO dot exists, which means if this user ID exists, I mean if this user is present in the real-time database, if this user data exists, then we have to retrieve it and display it. So first of all, we can say, well, user equals to data snapshot, which means this object, sorry. In Java, it is, I mean, the default name for this one is data snapshot. So that's why I just every time say this. Get value user, which is our model class. And by the way, it must be Angular braces. Then we can say user class Java. First, we have to retrieve and display the picture. As you know, till now we have not allowed a user to update the picture, but we can write the code for it, okay? And we have to add a null check and the chef call. So which means that if it exists, only retrieve it, otherwise ignore it. So you can say user. Also, we have to check if user is not null, dot get image dot let's hold up or dot dribble dot profile dot into view dot, and we have the ID for it, which is for raw image of file fragment. Make sure to confirm it first. Okay, here you can see it, raw image profile frag. After this, we have to display retrieve and display the username. So we can say question mark dot the ID for it is profile fragment username dot text user dot get username. That is just paste it quickly. Then we have the full name profile fragment, and it is get full name. Then we have bio profile frig get bio. So everything is okay, and now let's just call this method here user info. Now let's just run the app to see if it is working fine or not. And also let me check any specific user ID so that we can count the total number of which user has both things. Let's just log in using this user who's johnson@gmail.com. So the app is running now, okay, and let me just log out first from here. Let's just log in using Johnson. Then password. We are logged in. Let's go to the profile. So if we go to the profile, it is not, it is retrieving the following, but the full name and the stuff is not displaying here. Why? And here we need to check our code, what we forgot. Okay, first of all, the first mistake is here. The profile ID is equals to this, and the second one is basically, if this is not equals to the Firebase user.uid. So this is the mistake here. So the second mistake is basically, we forgot to change, to do some changes here. And that is when we say get followings. You are going to check for the profile ID. That is the item on which user clicked. So remove this. First make sure to remove this, okay, and then this thing. So yeah. And then we need to check that is Firebase Database get instance reference dot child follow dot child profile ID. And the next thing is our followers, okay? Sure to remove this, also this curly brace. And here we need to change this to profile ID. Because this profile ID is the ID which is basically the item view. And that item view reference, it basically means the ID on which an online user will click. So you send online user to that user profile page. Even if he click on his own profile, that is, let's say from the search box, okay? If we search his own name and his own ID appear, and if we click on it, then that profile ID will contain the online current user ID. It will be equals to that. So here we need to check, write the .child profile ID. Also, let me check the user info users. Here we have profile ID. Now, this is okay. Let us just comment out this code for now. But later, if we need it, then we will use it. So here, So yeah, I mean, that is okay. Now here will work fine. One thing which we need to add is whenever the user, minimize the app, at that case, we have to assign the user on ID. So here at the end, let's just quickly say on stop, not start, on stop, and on pause. We have to, by using the share preferences, we have to share the user on ID, okay? On stop, on pause for the profile page. The user come to the profile page. Then we have on destroy. Now, come here to the user adapter, and here when we say on our user adapter, we have this code. And by the way, one thing which I noticed is, instead of this get UID, you can also write UID, okay? Instead of this. So anyways, this was not the case. Our goal is just to copy it, come back to the profile fragment, and just paste that here, okay? And here the context is this one, question mark, and we have to get and I'm talking about this UID, which is the Kotlin. Specifically using the Kotlin language, we write this. Okay, get UID is the old one, which also, you can use here in Kotlin, but that was specifically for Java. So anyways, here we are going to use the Firebase user.uid. In the same, we will do that. Just compare this down below. Okay. Now we are ready to test the application finally, but where is this problem? Okay. Also, we need to add this save null call here. Then the next one is here. So make sure to do this. Even if you just click mouse here, okay? Here is this red line. It will also give you this suggestion. From the suggestion you can see it. Surround with null check. Instead of it to do it manually like this, okay? Here you can see it. Now we are ready finally to test our application to see how it works. So as you remembered, I already told you I am now logged in by this account, which is Johnson Wright, okay? And the ID is IQ. So IQ currently now have only in his following list, he has 2 users. Here you can see Johnson Wright. This is the status, which is retrieved here. You can check it here, okay? And this is the username, Johnson 3. Now here you can see edit profile, and this person is only following 2%. Okay, in his following list there are only 2%, which I already show you guys. And also, let's go to the search and see this feature also which is implemented. So I search for this user. Let's click on it, and here you can see it following. Okay, and the name of this person is Eamon Johnson, which means that this user who is online user, which is Johnson Wright is following Eamon Johnson. Okay, here you can see it. And since you know that we have not worked on the on-click feature for the following and follow button, okay, in this case, so yeah, in the next tutorial we will be working on it. But before going, I'm going to unfollow this Eamon Johnson from here, okay? So here you can see it is now follow, and here you can see it. Now I'm going to click on it again, and here you can see the follower list is now empty. So yeah, that is really incredible. It is working fine. Now in the next tutorial, what we'll be doing is to also, allow the user to follow and unfollow a user by going to the profile page of that user on which online user will basically click. This tutorial, we are going to work on this edit profile button. So as you know that when a user come here from the home page or from from the notification page, and when he click on this profile icon, then basically we are redirecting the user to his own profile page, where we display this button edit profile. But if a user come from here, that is, let's say if he search for someone and he click on it, then we send the user to that person profile, page. That is, let's say in this case, we come to the profile page of Eamon Johnson. This is the status and this is the button. So now in this case, here is a follow button or the following button. I mean, if the user already following this person. I hope you know that, which we already did in the previous tutorial. So, I mean, now if we click on this button, then it will work for the edit profile, since, as I told you, we will work on this button in this tutorial. So first, let's work on this. I mean, in case of follow button, what we have to do. So all you need is just come to the Android Studio first, and here on our profile fragment, we have this thing. When we say view and this button ID, which is this button ID, okay? When a user click on it, then basically we are sending the user to the account settings activity. In this case, I mean, by default, it is the error profile. But if we click on someone's profile from the search fragment, I mean here, okay, then basically when we come to the profile, then it is either follow or following. So yeah, so how we can do it? So in the previous tutorial, as you know that we have already worked on it, which is to change the text of that button. That is, in case if the profile ID is equals to the Firebase user.uid, which means that this is an online user and he is visiting his own profile. So in that case, we will display the text edit profile. Otherwise, if it is not equals to Firebase user.id, Firebase user.id, then we are checking this thing, okay? That is, it will be either following or follow, which I already show you in the video. So all we're going to need is just to get the text of this button and do some operation on it, okay? So here, when a user click on it in here, okay, view dot set on click listener. So what we're going to do, all you need is just to cut this code, Control X, and let's just create a local variable and let's give it name. Let's give it name as get button text, which is a string at a type variable, basically you can say. So anyways, I mean, view dot this thing, okay? First, let me just paste that code. I mean, you don't need to write it again and again. I just paste it and comment out that code for now, okay? And now just copy this edit account settings button, because we have to get the text from it as string dot to string. Now once we do that, now we have to check by using the when condition, and in here we can say if the get button text becomes equals to, and we have to follow this exactly, I mean this text. If it is equals to this text, then in that case we are going to send the user to the account settings activity, okay? So now let's just cut this code, okay, and just paste that here. Here you can see it. And now the next condition will be, that is, if the get button text becomes equals to follow, okay? If the button text is follow, it means that is when a user click on this follow button, we have to, allow the user to follow that user, on which the online user is, like, let's say searching, and it is displaying here on the profile, okay? So yeah, so if it is equals to follow, then we have to copy paste the code from our adapter, and we have a user adapter, and from here let's just copy paste this, which is on our user adapter. We have this method, and let's copy paste from here, okay? Follow Firebase user from here up to here, which is our follow and following, okay? So copy it, come back to the profile fragment, and now you can paste that here, and make sure to close this ending curly brace for this it's, okay? So all you need is just to type here this curly brace, okay? And here you can see it now, it is highlighted. So anyways, now after this following, all you're gonna need is you have to say pass the profile ID dot set value to true. So this one is for the following, and let's just copy paste this. Okay, copy it and paste it down below. And now here we can say followers. And the main change we need to do is cut this at 1, Control X. Here all we need is to pass now for file ID first, and instead of the second one we have to say at 1.string. And now the last one is basically the following. If the user is already following the user, like here you can see it, okay? That is, I am following Evan Johnson. So in that case, all we're gonna need is, let's just copy paste this whole follow, okay? And we can, first let me check your returns here, okay? It can here, let's copy it, let's paste it here. And now make sure to do the changes here. That is, if the text of that button equals to following, then following at 1.string for file ID, and instead of set value, now we are going to remove it. Remove value. Followers for file ID at 1.string. So yeah. Remove value. Now let's just run the application to see how it works. So the app is running now successfully. Now let's just on this profile icon, and here you can see we are, I am on my profile page. I'm logging as Johnson, right? Okay, and here you can see by default the button is edit profile. And now if we just go to the search, let's just search for some user. Here you can see M22 Evan Johnson. If we just come here, and here you can see now it is following. If we click on it, and here you can see it is changed to follow, and now I am unfollowing this person. Now let's just go back and let's come here, okay? And here you can see in the search box it is now follow. If we come back here and again we do, then it is now following, and here you can see that followers is 1. That is, this user has now 1 follower, which is me. Now the next thing is let's also just search from some other users. Let's say Gia Peterson, okay? And yeah, let's just come here, follow, okay? So I'm now following this person also. So if you click back, okay, then here you can see, it will update if you just go back and just come back here, okay? Which is, here we can see it. Now it is 0. So followers 0. And now if you just click on it, then here you can see follower is 1. So that is really cool. That is incredible. And if you just go to the home page or any notification page or search page, and then if we go back to the profile page, then here you can see it will send us to our own profile page. That is the online user. That is, let's say I'm now login as Johnson, right? Okay. So here you can see it. And now if I click on this edit profile, then it will send me to the account settings page. So now the next important thing is to retrieve the already existing data, that is the full name of a user, username and bio, okay? And allow the user to do changes. There is, let's say if a user wants to change his full name, his username, his bio, then he can do so. And also to allow a user to change the image. So first let's just retrieve and display the full name, username and bio of user here on this account settings. So all we're gonna need is, for the time saying, what I'm going to do, let's just come here. We have a method by the name user info. Where it is? Here, okay? Here you can see it. Let's just remove this thing. Not need it. The commented code. We have this method and we are receiving, okay. So let's just copy paste this private user info compute method, Control C. And now let's just go back to our account settings activity. Also, first let's just copy paste this whole method here. Paste it here, user info, okay? Now the next thing is, that is to modify it according to the account settings activity. So here we can search now get reference.child user.child. And here we can say, let's go back to the profile fragment. we have Firebase user, copy paste this, copy it, and here we need to paste it at the top, okay, and then we have to get this thing which is the current user in our own create. So Firebase user, and then we can say Firebase user side here. I need the online user ID. We have to get to Firebase user dot UID. And the next thing is user reference. You are retrieving it using that object. And we say that is to display the picture. The rest of the thing will remain the same. All we're going to need is just to remove this thing. Let's open our account setting XML file. So for the profile image, we have an ID, this one. Copy it and paste that here, not into this. And then for displaying the username, we have this username ID on our account settings page. So just paste that here. Dot text. Okay? And the same goes here. For the full name, we have a full name profile page. And paste that here. That is full name profile page dot text. Same here. It is our bio. Now you can do the same, that is for the getting the website address, and that is, let's say if you want to add further information like address, URL, and all the stuffs, if you want, just add it in text here and you can do it. So anyways, now instead of displaying like this, all you need is just cut this, okay, and change this dot text, okay, just write here set text and paste that inside it, okay, just like this. Cut this from here. You can say set text, paste it here. Cut this one now. You can say set text. Studio. Now all you need is just to call this user info method in our own create. So here we can say user info. That's it. Now the next thing is to allow a user, that is, let's say we will display the full name, username, bio here, okay? So if user do the changes in the full name, username or bio, and then when a user click on this tick button, then we have to store it. You have to do the save the changes inside the Firebase database. So also let's just do it and then we will test the application. So let's just copy paste this, set on the listener, we will modify it for our data button, okay? So all we gonna need is just remove this from here and change this, what's the ID of this tick button? Just click here. It is here. Image view, save info, profile button. So copy it. Come back and just paste that ID here instead of this logo button. Not set on click listener. So when a user click on it, and let me tell you, in the next video tutorial, we will work on this profile page. When a user click on this change image button, then we will allow the user to, a user will first, let's say, if a user click on change image, he will select the image from his phone gallery. And then let's say if you do some changes here and he click on this tick button, then also the image will be changed. So there is a difference now. Let's say the user do not want to change the image and he just do changes here. That is the full name, username, bio. You do some changes here and you do not want to set his image or let's say change his profile picture. So we have to store in that case only this data. This textual information, that is the full name, username and bio. So for that, we have to differentiate between these two cases. So how we can do it? All we're going to need is to basically create a variable for it. So we can say here, right, checker equals to, let's initialize it with none. And when a user click on this button, which is Save Information Profile button, then here we have to check, that is, if checker become equals to clicked, then it means, now that is something that is related to the upcoming tutorial, okay? So in the next video, let me tell you now, if checker becomes equals to click, what does it mean? So whenever user click on this change image, you can say this text or this button, then after clicking on this, we will we will assign this clicked string type, this value to the checker variable. There when we will be working on it in the next tutorial. So, at that time, checker will be equals to clicked, okay? So it means that the user has clicked on it and he selects some picture from his phone gallery and the picture is now displaying here. Successfully, if the task is done, that is select a picture from gallery and the new picture appear here, then in that case, we will know that is okay, checker is equals to clicked. So the user has selected some picture, it is also displaying here. Then we will see the remaining changes. According to that, we will do, the image stuff when we upload it in the next tutorial. But what if the checker is not equals to clicked, which means this else statement? It simply means that the user do not click on this change image button, or you can say on this text view. The user do not click on it and he do some changes here, like let's say this kind of changes, okay? He just do some changes here and then he click on this tick button. So it means that the user only changes textual information, username, bio, etc. and he set it, or you can say modified it. So in that case, our else statement will run. So I hope you get the idea. So here we are going to create a method. That method we will create now, which will say update user info only. And let's just create this method, create function, and here it is. Remove this comment first, and then inside here, we need to create a reference to our user's node. So just typing it again, let's just copy this thing, copy it up to the users, okay, just like this, and then let's create a user map. Come here to the sign up activity first. And here when we have this method which is save user info. We have already right here. So just copy it and leave this image here, okay? Just this UID, full name, around this stuff. Copy it. Come back now and let's just paste that here. So we say, that is, remove this UID also from here. And we have to copy the ID of this thing with its full name. So just copy it. Come here and just paste this here. That is dot text dot to. Or instead of this, we can say get text. Okay, let's Control Z, undo this first. Okay, and now let me just do it again. Okay, one thing, let's try. Just paste this ID here, and then we can say dot text. So cut this whole thing, okay? Control X, put these two braces first, and inside it paste that, which is full name text dot text. And it is still not working. With this thing, okay? So remove these braces, and instead of this, we can say dot get text. Just type it, okay? Dot to lowercase. To string dot to lowercase. So I'm very sorry for that, okay? Now also you can add text. It will work. First, we have to convert this to text. Okay, that is, we are getting the value from our this full name array text. We have to convert it to the string and then to dot to lowercase. The same we will do here for this one. So let's just copy paste this here. Username, and make sure to change the ID, which is username profile fragment. Copy it, pasted here, and the email is not here. Okay, so let's remove it. And user map bio. So you have to allow the user now to set his bio instead of the default one. So yeah, I mean, all we're gonna need is just to copy paste it here. And boom, now we are ready. So bio profile frag, just do the change and paste it here. Text to string to lowercase. Now one thing which I remember certainly is, I mean, you can also add if condition that must check if the full name, I mean that the user must write. That is, let's say if the full name is here, like let's say Muhammad Ali, and he remove it and then he click on this one. I mean, without writing the full name again, then we must not allow the user in that case. So, I mean, you can also add if condition that must check that is all the fields are filled. So yeah, I mean, let's just do that quickly. The same thing you can add for the sign up also, okay, if you want. Because here you also do not check, that is, if the full name, I mean, that is if the user write the full name or not. But we are just taking the full name and we are storing it in the database. So make sure also you can do the changes, the same changes which we are now writing here. That is to check like this. If, okay, and we are going to get the text from our full name profile fragment. I mean, from this added text dot to string. Okay, up to here. The site hit, copy it, paste it here. So if this is equals to null, then we are going to tell the user. That is, I mean, a toast message. Instead of writing it, let's just copy paste this toast message from here, paste it here, and we can say that is, please write full name first. So you can do the same changes, I mean, here on the sign up. I mean, you can add this. This is a good approach to check for it. I mean, form validation, you can say. And here you can do it like full name equals to null, or full name dot to string equals to null. I mean, here at the top, you can do these changes. Now you will understand it when I complete this, okay? So first one is for the full name, and then the other one will be for the else, and then paste this if statement. It will be for our, this one, which is username. Okay, so just do it. If this equals to null, please write your username first, and the last one will be for the this one, which is our bio. If you want to add a condition for the bio also, okay, please write your bio first, and then in the else statement, I mean, if everything is okay, then we will execute the whole code, okay? Sorry. So just cut this whole code that we want to execute, and it will be now here. So if these conditions are fulfilled, I mean, if there is no problem, I mean, if the user write full name, username, and also you write the bio, then we will do, I mean, execute this code inside the else statement. And I'm really sorry, I forgot to mention one thing. We have already, I mean, write the if condition for these things. This is the method, okay? And we are passing this parameter, full name, username, email kind of thing here. I mean, if we just come back to the top, here when we call this method serve user info, then inside here, we have already written this one, okay? Which is text utils.isEmpty, which perform the same thing. I mean, it's the same feature like when we say like this, okay? I mean, you can also do it, add this if condition like if text utils text dot is empty, and then paste this thing, which is full name dot text dot to string. So it will work the same. That is, if this equals to null, okay, then it will notify it. So either way, I mean, you can write in this way or in this way, both will work. Okay, so for the sign up, I mean for the on the sign up page, we have already done the validation. I'm really sorry, I forgot. I thought that maybe we forgot to write this validation for it, that is to check the full name, username, and all these stuffs. So we have already done that, so there is no need to do the validation again. Sorry, okay? I mean, we have done the validation here at the top, and we say here. So yeah, I mean, it is okay, totally fine. So anyways, so well, it is okay. Now the next thing is to update. I mean, to store this. I mean, if the user do changes, then we have to store it by using the user reference, user ref dot child, and we have to say that is Firebase user dot uid dot update children, and pass the user map to it. And after that, we will like to send the user, that is, to the main page, or you can say to the home page. So let's just copy paste this intent code from here. Let's copy this toast also. Copy it and account settings, and after this, we can paste it here, and we can say that is account information has been updated successfully. And we are on the account settings page. Account setting activity, I mean, remove this intent from here. Okay. And yeah, the rest of the thing will remain the same, and we send the user to the main activity. So yeah, that's it. And we have called this here, okay? We user click on it. So yeah, let's just run the application to see how it works. So the application is run successfully, but one thing, I mean, which I just now remember, that is, as you know, this .get reference belongs to the Java, okay? So if you want, you can change this to a reference, which is related to the Kotlin. Also, if you just click here, you can see this gray kind of, I mean, this gray color line, okay? If you click here, it will give you this suggestion. That is, replace if with when. So click it, okay? And it will change this whole if-else condition to when condition, okay? Which works like, you can say if-else statements, okay? The same which we do here, I mean, in our sign-up. Here you can see it for checking over all these full name, username kind of fields. So it will automatically convert it to the when condition, okay? So here you can see it. So yeah, everything is now okay, and even you can run it again if you want to see if it is working properly or not. So the application is running now successfully. And now let's just go back to the profile, and here you can see Johnson Wright, edit profile. Let's click on it, and here you can see it retrieved successfully my all previous information, which is Johnson Wright, Johnson 3 here I'm using. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my status now. I mean the bio, okay? So let's say computer. I mean, you can type just anything, this is just for testing purposes. Let's say computer scientist and mobile app developer. Okay? Let's write, I mean, just coding cafe. Okay? At coding cafe. And also, you can change your username. Let's change our name this time. Instead of Johnson Wright, I'm going to say that is Johnson Parker. Just for the testing purposes. And username, let's say 345. Let's just click on the stick button. And here you can see account information has been updated successfully. It sends us to our main activity, or you can say to the home. And let's just come. And wow, here you can see it. Johnson Parker, computer scientist, mobile app developer at Coding Cafe, Johnson 345. If you come here to the edit profile, then here you can see the changes. I mean, computer scientist Johnson 345. So yeah, I mean, it is working successfully. In this tutorial, we are going to work on our profile image. So we are going to allow a user to upload an image to the Firebase Storage and to the Firebase Database, and then we will retrieve it and display the profile image of user here on our profile page. And also we will add the crop image feature. I mean, that is, let's say if the user want to crop his image. So well, first of all, go to Google, okay, and just type Android crop image library, okay. When you click on it, then you will get these results. Here you will see this one. Library, which is Arthur Hub Android Image Cropper, okay? Just click on it. So this is the library, okay? And let me show you how it will work, okay? So we will send you to this mobile phone gallery, and once the user select his image from his phone gallery, then we will allow user to crop the image, okay? The feature will work like this. Here you can see it. So well, it is so simple. I mean, all you're gonna need is just go to the Android Studio, and let's come here, module app, okay? And we need to add that library here. And by the way, this is the Picasso library, okay, which we already added in the previous tutorial. I mean, for retrieving and displaying the image on the screen. So let's just copy paste this. I mean, we have to add that one, okay, and make it null. I mean, empty. And now let's just copy this thing. Control C, and then come here and paste it here. Okay, and then click on the sync now, and let's wait for it. So well, it is added successfully. Now the next thing is to add the permission, I mean, for external storage, reading and writing, okay, because we will send the user to his phone gallery, okay. So I mean, we have to add these permissions to our Android manifest. So come here and just paste this permission here at the top. And also, we need a crop image activity, which is, I mean, by default from this library, okay. I mean, you have to grab this, which is this one, okay, which says add crop image activity into your Android manifest. So just copy this, come here to the Android Studio, and here at the end, I mean, above this application, just paste that, okay. So yeah, this is all. I mean, make sure that you add this library, okay, which is image cropper and this Picasso. So yeah, once it is done, down the next step comes is, let me just close all these things quickly. And now on our account settings activity, if I show you, we have this account settings activity dot Kotlin. So once the user click on this thing, which is this change image text view, okay? So once the user click on it, we will send the user to his mobile phone gallery. From there, the user will select image, and we have to get that image and then apply the crop image functionality on it. So come here to the account settings, and here, what is the ID of this? The ID is 10 image text buttons. Copy it, come here, and here we can say dot set on trick listener. Now in here we have to say that is crop image dot set activity. Sorry, it is activity dot set aspect ratio. Aspect ratio, and I hope you know that word aspect ratio means that is 101, like if you want to get the cover image, that is, let's say, then you can get 305, 101, 202, 303. So as you know, I mean, this is the profile image, so we will go for the aspect ratio 101, okay. Then we can say dot start, and we have to pass our current, which is this, I mean, our account settings activity. And also we have a checker variable. We have to assign the new to it, so that just to, I mean, make it sure that is the user has clicked this changing the text button. As you know that in the previous tutorial, I explained this checker variable when we were just storing the text information, okay? So anyways, it will be equals to clicked, which means that the user clicked on this button and he's going to now, I mean, upload the image. Or you can say change his existing profile image. Now basically what this code will do that This will basically send the user to his mobile phone gateway. The user will select a picture and it will, the user will crop the image. Now, how we will get that crop image? Now, this is the point, okay? So in order to get that crop image here outside, we have a method which is by the name onActivity. Sorry, onActivity result. Okay, this method. And now here, we can get that crop image. So first of all, we have to check if the request code is equals crop image dot crop image activity result request code, and result code is equals to result, okay. And if the data is not null, if the image is selected, okay, so you can say data is not equals to null. And what we are going to do? Well, we have to get the image and store it. Okay, so let's get a variable by the name result. So we can say, we have to get that crop image. So you can say crop image dot get activity result and pass the data, which is basically referencing to our in the crop image. Now let's create a variable so that we can store our image URI in it, our image. So we can say prior to my URI equals to null. And now come down and here we can say, okay, we need two things. There's you can say a string type variable in which we will basically store our URL. That is the download URL, okay? And the second one, we need to create a image URI type variable, okay, in which we will store our image. So we can say image. Okay, it is first we have to give them to the type URI, and it is of type, as I told you, URI, and it must not be equals to null. And now come down here, and here we can say image. And we have to get the result on the URI. So we can say result dot URI. Now, once we get that crop image, which is now stored inside this image URI type variable, we have to display it also here on the screen so that the user can see that is, how the image looks, okay, before uploading it to the storage. So let me just get the ID of this quickly so that we can set our image on it. So we can say dot set image URI and pass the image URI to it. Now we have this image, okay, now we have to upload this into the Firebase Storage and then to the Firebase Database. So for that, well, it is here you can see, in case of any error, if you want, you can just display a statement, okay? You can either toast message. If you want, that is error record, try again. But I will just leave this statement. So as the image, inside this global variable, which is image URI, the result is stored in it, the image. Now, when a user click on the save button, if I show you, which is this one, okay? And we have to store this image now inside the Firebase Storage and then the database, of course. So here, I need save info profile button. If it is equals to click, and that is the reason that we just assigned here, okay? I already explained it in the previous tutorial also, okay? Checker equals to click. So if checker is equals to click, it means that the user is now changing his profile image, or you can say uploading the image to, set his image down. So let's create a method by the name, upload image. And let's say update info. That is, let's say, if the user also change this thing, okay, alongside with the image, let's say the user click here, okay, he select an image and then he edit his full name, username and bio, okay, and then he click on here. So we have to update all of these. So in order to do that, well, it is so simple. Let's just create this method quickly, which is create function. And here you can see it is created successfully. Now in here, what we're going to do, let's just, at the bottom, you can move it. So, just to make the code clean, okay? So inside here, we are going to write a code. Now first here we have to verify something, okay? All these, so we can say when. And now in here, let's just compare this thing. Pages for checking the username and all these stuffs. So copy it, Control C, and paste that here, okay? So if the full name is empty, we can say please write full name, username, please write your bio first, okay? If this is empty, then in that case. And now also we are going to introduce the other one, which will be related to the image. Which will check that either the image URI is empty or not. So instead of that, we can say if the image URI is equals to null, if this is null, then we are going to display a message to the user to first please select an image, okay? Because this is the main thing which we are doing in this second, which is our for this image one, okay? So anyways, please select image first, okay? So this is all about the validation for the image URI. Let's just cut it from here, paste it here at the top. So yeah, everything is okay now, and then we can say else if everything is okay, okay? In here, okay, I think we missed something, okay? Just Control V, okay, undo this thing, else and put this arrow, and then in here, sorry, we have to write it inside our this when condition. I just forgot about this. I was following the Java code in my mind. When we use the when condition Kotlin, then it means that if there is any problem, then it will just do it. Let's say if the image URI is null, then it will just return it, okay? Return it, and it will not execute the rest of the code unless and until the image is selected, or let's say the profile name or everything. I hope you understand this. And now inside this else we can spell. First of all, let's come here to our storage. We have to make sure that either we have created our bucket for the storage or not, okay? So yeah, it is already created. You will get a screen like this, okay? Now once it is done, now we have to create our, a reference to the Firebase storage. So for that here we can just say, and let's create a reference by the same name. We can just say storage profile picture reference. So that, just give it proper name so that we can remember it. And obviously it will be of type storage reference. And it must be initialize it with null. Now inside our on create, we can say storage profile picture reference equals to Firebase storage dot get instance dot get reference, or in Kotlin, we can write a reference, okay? Also, and then dot child, and child we will create by the name profile pictures, okay? And yeah, now come down here. So that is our reference to the folder profile pictures. It should be created, and it will store all the pictures of all the users in that folder. Now here, let's create a variable by the name. Let's give it name as file reference. And then we can say storage reference. For every specific user, we will store the profile image by their unique ID, okay, which is from the database. So that, let's say, if the next time the user wants to update his profile picture, then the previous profile picture will be deleted and the new one will be stored. Or you can say replace that old picture with a new one, okay? If user wants to update his profile picture. So first we have to check that his storage profile reference is not null by just putting this exclamation marks dot child, and we have to say that his Firebase user must not be equals to null dot UID. And also let's save alongside it the type of this thing, that is, let's say JPG. I mean, the image, let's say the image is PNG type or whatever type it is, okay? We are just storing it as a default. That is every image we want. That is by the name, the user ID, and then .jpg, okay? So you can just go with it. It will work for all images. I mean, it is just the name which we are storing alongside. I mean, let's say you can say we are giving this name to that image by using the upload task, which is of storage task. Then we can say upload task equals file reference dot put file. Let's give it our capital so that we can differentiate between this, okay? So we are storing the image on this reference, okay? But when we say .put file, and inside here we are going to paste our image, okay? And it must not be null. Now it will put, or you can say store the image to the Firebase storage, but we have to get the download URL, or you can say the link to that image so that we can retrieve and display it on our profile picture later on. I mean, first of all, we have to obviously add it inside database also. We have to store that link, that download URL. How we can do that now? Well, all you can do is just say here task.continue with task continuation. Now here before this curly dash, put this angular sign, okay, and then to closing this one, okay. You can see it. Now in here, this is basically the built-in thing which is provided by the official, I mean from the official side of Firebase. Now I will tell you what basically it will do, but first let me write it. Comma. Now here, task, and then the result, which is, make sure to write here this one, okay? Let me tell you, this angular brace, and this is the closing angular brace for it, and then we have these two here after this task, okay? And then here we have to pass the URI. Now what basically it means? Now this basically means that the file, I mean this thing, okay? We are putting this image URI in this reference in the Firebase storage, but we want to continue with the result, okay? This continuation basically this means. That is, let's say if the image is successfully uploaded, then now inside this method, I mean this, as I told you, provided by the Firebase. I mean, you can also check it on the official side of Firebase. So once if the image is successfully uploaded, then get, or you can say return the download URL of that image, which we will later store in the Firebase database, okay? So here by using this task, we can just say inside here, there is if task dot is successful, then we want to do, or instead of that, if the task is not successful, then it will throw an exception. So we can just say that is task dot exception. Let throw it. So if the task is not successful, okay, then it will just display, or you can say return the error. Otherwise, if everything is okay, then we have to return the download URL, which it will automatically, you can say, get, okay, after that is, as I told you, if the image is uploaded successfully, basically this is checking, this upload task.continue, task continuation, okay? So then we can just say there is download URL, had our file reference, I mean our images had this address, okay? So we can say file reference dot download URL, or in Java, if you remember, we said dot get download URL, okay? But in Kotlin, we say file reference dot download URL. And basically, this is the new latest way, I mean, for the new versions of Firebase Database, Firebase Storage, Firebase Core, and all these stuff, okay? So as you know that this project is with the new dependencies. So anyways, I mean, after that, what we're going to do is that if this everything is successfully completed, then we have to move it and store this or just store this in a variable, and then we can store it inside Firebase real-time database. So here we can just say add on complete listener, URI task. Okay, so cut this, we have these curly braces again, and then here we can say if task dot is successful, that is, if now this time we are checking if we receive, or you can say if we get the download URL successfully, then let's create a variable by the name download URL equal, and by using this task we can say task dot result. So we get the URL and we store it inside this variable. Now is the time to store it inside the Firebase real-time database so that we can retrieve and display it on our profile Fragment. And as you know, it is of, you can say, URI type, so we have to convert it to string, and we have already created a string type variable at the start of this video, which is by the name myURL. So let's just do it quickly. So we can say download URL dot to string. Now let's create a reference to our user's node, and let's give it name as reference or just ref equals to Firebase Database dot get instance dot reference dot child, and the child will be our user's node, and we are going to searching for the online user. Oh, sorry, no semicolon. Now here we need to just copy this hash map from the top, okay, which is, just copy this, come down here, and let's just paste it here, okay. So user map, hash map, first one is full name, then username, bio, and now we have to add another one, which will be for storing the image. So we can say image delivery name image. If I show you, then we have also we store already the default image by this name, okay, so it will be replaced with it. So anyways, now let's just come here and we have to pass our myURL to it, which is basically the image URL, okay. And then by using this reference, we can say reference.child firebase.uid, which is the obviously, that is, let's say, as you know it, I'm online by this user, Johnson Parker, okay. And let's say I am now online, okay. So it will get that ID we are referencing to here, and it will replace it with the default image, which we already provided the start, at the beginning of this course. And we were just storing the information. So anyways, once it is done, what we want to do is to send you to the main activity. Okay, so let's just come here at the top, and here we need to just copy this toast message alongside with this message, okay. So we can say that this just pasted, and we can say account information has been updated successfully. Value, intent, and main activity, yeah. Also, let's quickly add our progress dialog. So inside here and top, inside this method, what we gonna do is we can say, well, progress dialog equal progress dialog, passing the context to it, which is over this. Now let's just quickly set a title for it, set title, and you can say count settings progress dialog dot set message, and it will be, that is, let's say, please wait, we are updating your profile progress dialog dot show. So yeah, now we can dismiss it if any error occurs. So here after this we can say progress dialog dot dismiss, and also we can add And here, if the task is not successful, then inside you can also, add a else statement here. You can just say, progress dialog dot dismiss. Now this is all about, uploading the image to the Firebase storage and then also store it inside, get the download URL and store it inside the Firebase real-time database. And once it is stored, now we have to retrieve and display it. And we have already done that part. If you just come here, for our default image, this, by the way, this image, okay? So we have already done that part, and let me just show it to you quickly, which is here, inside our user info method. What we are going to do, we are just referencing to our user node and then the online user, which is Firebase user.uid. And here we are basically checking if this exists. Then we are getting the image, and by using the Picasso library, by using Picasso, we are just displaying that image here, okay? Which is user.getImage.placeholder anchor displayed. So now, is the time to test our application finally. But one thing, let me just check it. So everything's okay. That's just so you can see what happens. And by the way, I will share the link to the source code up to this tutorial in the description down below. So you can just check. There are some viewers who have some problem, while retrieving and displaying the information on the profile page. That we already done in the previous tutorial. That is the username, profile name. I guess they have some problem. So, I told them that I will just upload the source code in this tutorial. So you can check the source code, link to source code in the description down below, so that you can easily compare your code with this, with this project source code. So if you have any error, you can remove it easily. So the app is running now successfully. And now let's just test it, okay? So let's go to the profile. And here you can see I am logged in as Johnson Parker, okay? Just in case, for the testing purposes, I want to show it to you guys, okay? Here you can see Johnson Parker. Now let's go to the profile quickly and let's click on change image. So let me just select this image. So here you can see, this is the cropping feature, okay? You can also check the other ones, which is flip horizontal, flip vertically. But anyways, let's just test it quickly, okay? So I'm going to crop the image, okay? And then click on this crop. And once you click it, here you will see it will set the URI to this view. And now, let's say I'm going to change my name to Johnson Peter, let's say. Okay, and then, you can also change if you want to do some changes. Now, if I just click on this tick button, then here you can see account setting. Please wait, we are updating your profile, okay? And also keep your eyes here. Now, it is still loading. Now, let's just go to Firebase Storage and see, refresh the Firebase Storage page, and let's check if the image is storing the storage or not. Then we can check the database also, okay? So profile picture folder is created, okay? We have seen that. Now you can just go inside this profile pictures. And here we have this image which is uploaded successfully to the Firebase storage. You just click on it, then you will see this image, the crop image, okay? And now it is not yet come here to the database. It is still updating. But wait, one thing which I remember, okay, let's just copy this, okay, so that we can see if it is updated or not yet. Just copy it, Control-C and paste it here, and it is still the previous picture. It is still loading. It is not saved to the database, and we have to check what is the problem. So let's just come here to the code, and the code works up to here, okay, which is .put the file, okay, inside at the Firebase storage reference command task here. This code is still not, it is not working because it's still loading and not save the result inside the database. The URL and the information that we changed. So anyway, let's just check it. First of all, let's just cut this progress dialog, okay, and we can just, we can just paste it here after checking this text field, okay? If this is okay, and inside in this else statement there at the top, we can just paste it, okay? Now, if the task is successful, first of all, we also at the bottom, we have to finish it. So you can say progress dialog dot business, So basically here we commit a mistake. Now, if I show you, the error is basically here we just wrote by mistake this curly brace alongside with this add-on complete listener, and which was not, instead of this we used to write the braces. Let me just cut this code, okay? This if statement and this else statement. Cut this control X. Now first let's make this thing correct. Now here instead of, you can see it ends here, okay? First let's just move this one and put this brace, okay? And also let's just put this brace, not the curly braces, okay? Now here you can see it, these braces, which is not the curly braces, okay? Now the next thing is, here inside it, we can paste our code, which is the if else condition, okay? Now it will work fine. Now we have already had this progress dialog if everything is okay. And yeah, let's just test the application quickly. Hopefully this time it will work. Because that was the problem, which caused our app to not proceed from this step, okay? That is, it just stuck here and just continues reloading. So anyways, we will now see. So the app is running now successfully. Let's go to the profile. Johnson Parker, edit profile, change it. And now let's just choose an image. Now you can just crop it. And here we got our image. Now let's just do some changes also here so that we can see if everything is working or not, okay? So Johnson Peter. Now let's just click here. Down settings, please, where we are updating. So let's just come here. And here you can see it. Wow. This is incredible. It is working now. Johnson Peter, okay? And if you want to check, to verify, also let's just come here, refresh this page. And also until it is refreshed, let's just copy this image URI also, okay? Which is changed. You will also see it how it works. Copy it so that we can see the image basically also from here, okay? Now, once it is refreshed, now let's just paste it quickly. And here we got this image, okay? So it is now here at this destination. If you just click it, you will see it. So yeah, this is really cool. This is incredible. Wow. Now, if you just come back to the app, then here you can see it. This is incredible. Here you can see it. It is working fine.